Now, to use the law of sines or any of these approaches, you have to be very organized. So let me help you. When you say you're going to solve a triangle has 3 angles and 3 sides. So let's go ahead and list them. Angle A, angle B, angle C, side A, side B, side C. For the angles, we use capitals. For the sides, we use small letters. You'll need to do that so you won't confuse yourself. Now, I know there are 3 fractions for the law of sines, but you can only use 2 at a time. So here is the key. If you know an angle and its opposite side, that's the key. And so angle C and side C we know. So this ratio I'm going to use over and over and over again for this problem because look, I have the side and opposite angle both given to me. I'm going to take the other angle that's given to me and look for the opposite side. So in all proportions or 2 fractions, you want to make sure you know 3 of the positions and 1 is the unknown. Cross multiply, divide to get the A by itself, and there is our A value, and they want us to round to 3 decimal places. Now there's one thing that I actually did before that is, since I have angle A and I have angle C, if I have 2 angles of a triangle, well, the 3 angles together add up to 180. So if I take 180 and subtract the 2 angles that were given to me, I'll get the third angle, which is 71. So angle B, the angle I didn't know, is 71. And what I did here is I circled all the pieces of information that I need to find. So I found angle B. A moment ago I found side A. I have yet to find side B. So again, I use my complete fraction where I have C, side C, and angle C. I need to find side B. I just found a moment ago angle B, the leftover from 180. So I cross multiply, get the B by itself by dividing, pop this into my calculator, and I get how long side B is. Since they gave us 3 pieces of information and I found 3, I have all 6. So I have solved the triangle. And that's how it's going to be. There's 6 things to find. They're going to give you 3. You have to find 3. It's only fair. So in example 2, you can see that they gave us 2 angles and a side. I need to find the third angle and the other 2 remaining sides. So this time I'm going to remember to do this first. I have these 2 angles, add them together, and then subtract from 180 to get the third angle. And so that's who angle B is. Notice that at the beginning I had an angle, but I didn't know the opposite side. I had a side, but I didn't know the opposite angle. I had an angle, but I didn't know the opposite side. So the law of sines can't be used yet, but since I just found angle B, then this fraction is now complete. I know what side B is, and I know what angle B is. And so to find side A, since I already know angle A, I'll use this fraction. Cross multiply, divide to get A by itself, and we get this amount. Just to practice using our calculator, let me do this calculation. It's 76 sine 50, close the parentheses, and then I can divide that by sine of 96.5, close the parentheses, enter, and there's the 58.596. Don't forget, since we're doing degrees, you better check your mode. So go to mode, and sure enough, down here, we don't have radians selected, we have degrees. Again, I use my complete fraction where I know the side and opposite angle. This time I'm looking for side C. Notice the sides are on top, the angles are on the bottom. As long as you're consistent, it doesn't matter. I know the angle opposite side C must be the angle opposite the side. It's not arbitrary. Cross multiply, divide to get C by itself, and we have all the information we need. We found angle B by subtracting from 180. We found sides A and C using this law of sines. I don't know if you remember this, but when you have equal fractions, it's called a proportion. So these fractions stay the same. Here's the idea. As side A gets bigger, angle A has to get bigger to compensate to keep the fraction the same. And so if the side is big, the angle has to be big. If the side is small, the angle has to be correspondingly small so that the ratio stays in proportion. So let's scoot back down to where we last ended. Here's the idea. If we look at this picture, we can see that side A is the biggest, side B is the next biggest, and side C is the smallest. Again, these sides have to be opposite their angles. That's why this is C opposite angle C, and this is B opposite angle B. This is A opposite angle A. And then notice that opposite the big side is the big angle. Opposite the in-between side is the in-between angle, and opposite the small side is going to be the small angle. Now this time we're going to find angles. So we have our picture to the right, and we look at it and we go, okay, I know angle A and side A, so that's my important fraction. Because I know the side and I know the angle. I know side C, that's 20, and so I'm going to have to look for angle C. So this is going to be the unknown. Cross multiply, and then if I get sine C by itself, I have to divide by the 29. Practice our calculator again. We have 20 sine of 82 degrees, close parentheses, and divide that whole thing by 29. Enter. But understand, this is sine of C. I want the angle. So remember the inverse sine? So I go second sine, and then I need to put this there. So what you can do is go up arrow onto, notice how it highlights the answer we just had. Press enter, and it'll put that there. Actually, it's putting that number and all the others that go with it. Close parentheses, enter, and there's our angle. To find angle B, I do the same thing. I start with the information I know, the 29 for the A and the 82 for the angle A. I know side B, it's 24. Again, going back real quick. That's opposite the angle B. It's not arbitrary, you have to follow the diagram. And I'm looking for angle B. So again, we cross multiply, divide the 29 to get the sine B by itself, and then practicing the calculator one more time. We can do 24 sine of 82 and then divide that by 29, enter, and we get the sine of the angle, but I want the angle, so that's inverse sine, right? And so I do second sine, that's inverse sine, of that value, so go up onto it, press enter, it'll bring it back down, and then press enter again, and our angle is about 55.038.